Facebook has officially changed its name to Meta. So I guess I'll start calling it Meta now. But let's talk about this because this is some interesting stuff. Like, we know that Facebook is trying to dominate the metaverse. So it's quite fitting that they would change their name to Meta. Meta for Metaverse. I mean, it's not very innovative, but it's a way to push the metaverse agenda forward, make it more mainstream, make it more public, because now everybody knows, or everyone's Googling what is the metaverse pretty much. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. It really pushes this video out in the algorithm and encourages me to make more videos. This video is brought to you by Brand Video Pro. We help brands and influencers scale their influence and sales. So if that is of interest to you, head on over to our website, click the link down below and find out how we can help you. We have lots of services that we can help you with. All right, let's begin. I think my first reactions to the announcement, and it's been a while, like about a week now since it was announced. I think my first reactions were excitement. We've seen people that watched The Matrix back in the day, people that watched Ready Player One. We've all been waiting for this moment, and in a way, we've already been in the metaverse, right, through social media, connecting through social media, but now is a way for, now it's a time where we are almost valuing our digital experiences as much as, if not more than, our real life experiences. But as it stands till today, the biggest companies in the world are still companies that sell physical products. So we're talking about Apple, right? So depending on how you define the biggest company, I think, okay, the largest companies by revenue, according to Wikipedia, number one is Walmart still. Wow. Okay, so Walmart, State Grid, which is a Chinese electricity company. Or they were talking about a lot of Chinese oil and gas companies, Apple, CVS Health, United Health. So these are all physical products. So healthcare seems to be up there. Oil and gas seems to be up there. And all of these things are fueling the digital economy, right? But point is, we still live in a physical world, and the physical world still dominates. Now, there is now Facebook, I'm not going to call them pioneering because there's nothing new about the metaverse, and they're really trying to latch onto it like they're the ones that are inventing the metaverse, or they're the leaders of the metaverse. That's kind of like what it seems like they're trying to do. And in a way, they kind of are, but we can't neglect the contributions that are going to come from their biggest competitors now, which is going to be Apple, which is going to be Google, which is going to be Amazon. Don't sleep on Jeff Bezos. You don't think he's paying attention to the metaverse. Trust and believe it. But the question now is, was this a good decision? Absolutely. Was it great for spreading awareness? Absolutely. Now, so one of the things that people, I'm sure a lot of you have watched the videos where the videos that Mark Zuckerberg made when he was walking around talking about Meta and, the future and all these things. And he talked about Horizon Home, which is a very interesting entry into the metaverse. He talks about a lot of things. But what people, I think, have neglected is Meta, which is okay, so Meta is essentially the parent company, right? Facebook still exists. Facebook is the Facebook app, which is probably going to go obsolete. But I think the reason that they changed their name is that they really wanted to rebrand Meta from Facebook, the app, because Facebook, the app, Facebook, the company, has gotten a lot of backlash in the media for privacy issues. It starts with Cambridge Analytica and all those issues that happened there. Them taking our data, our information, all these issues, right? So Facebook is trying to rebrand itself, and it doesn't want to, in a way, it doesn't want generational curses to be spread amongst its new companies that it's purchased. So Meta as a company is trying to distance itself from Facebook, the Facebook brand, which is probably going to be a dying company. Because when you look at Facebook, the brand, it's not really offering anything innovative. And what it seems like they're trying to do is, this whole sort of like back end of Facebook, which is like Facebook Business Manager and I think Facebook Advertising Manager, all the back end tools that businesses use to run. I think they're trying to transition that into Meta so that Meta can and so people can use Meta to advertise on these multiple platforms. So let's talk about the companies that Meta owns. And people are sleeping on this. I don't think they highlighted it enough how powerful of a company Facebook really truly is. So first they have Facebook app, which everybody knows. And they specifically called it on the website Facebook app. So you know that, okay, that's the app, right? Then they have Messenger, which is a tool with Facebook app, but it's its own app on its own. And they also have WhatsApp. And to be honest, like, I don't know the difference between the type of person that uses Facebook Messenger or Messenger and the difference between someone that uses WhatsApp, but I know that I don't use Messenger. I see it as the messaging tool on Facebook. So I think what I really use is WhatsApp. It's a very important tool in terms of communicating with people around the world. WhatsApp is a great app. Then obviously Instagram, their most popular app currently, but that could change. And I think Instagram is very important because it's a culture. It makes them lead in the culture, right? It's a very popular pop culture app that everybody uses to connect right now. Or at least all the cool kids are on Instagram, put it that way. And then they have Oculus, and that is the entry into the metaverse. Oculus is pretty much the beginning of the real metaverse, where we're going to be experiencing, wearing these glasses and entering into these new spaces, these digital spaces.
There is Horizon Worlds, which is where you can build worlds and jump into them with people. Horizon is designed to make it possible for everyone to create, and we're already seeing people build some really interesting experiences, from creating new games together to throwing surprise parties in VR that family and friends around the world can join.
Now, in the video, he did talk about how in the future, it might not even be glass, it might be like a hologram or something. And that's how much we're distancing ourselves from the physical products world. We're moving into this space where, yes, it's transitioning from laptops to cell phones. And soon it's literally just going to be holograms that you see. And maybe you wear contacts or something and you just like do stuff. But hey, let's see what the future holds. And then soon it's not even going to be contacts. They probably how they put those LASIK eye treatment and they put the stuff in your eye. They could just probably do that in the future. And then all of a sudden you have the digital ecosystem in your eye. That's probably what the future is. And then obviously then Elon Musk will complement Neuralace by Elon Musk, which is like the chip in your brain. I think that he's trying to do that. All the stuff, the future. I mean, some people this scares them, but for me, it actually excites me. So there we have Oculus. Now let's see how they've defined Oculus on their websites. Feel connected anytime, anywhere. So they're really trying to, I think, position Oculus as the new headset for gamers. But it's also going to be a place, I guess, people are going to use to go into like the business spaces or whatnot. I just don't even see myself wearing these really bulky, strange looking glasses. Like it just doesn't look comfortable. But I guess I know all the kids, like my younger cousins are on wearing these things and, on their video games and stuff like that. But people that are outside the video game space, people that are maybe are in the workforce, to get them to wear these glasses and it's not ridiculous is going to be very interesting. So they have another tool called Workspace. And I checked it out, I looked at it, and it pretty much has the Facebook user experience, but it's specifically for the workplace. And there's so many different apps that are like this. And like we said this so many times, right? Facebook has mastered sort of like ripping off other apps and being the best at it. That's a skill on its own, but Workplace allows people to communicate in the workforce. And I'm sure the user experience is going to be better than most other apps in the same field, right? Because it gives you that Facebook infrastructure, and to be able to communicate with your employees or your colleagues in live in a place that feels like a social media app, and you're able to do it live in real time, that's a really great tool. So Workplace is a great one of their companies. Then they have a company called Portal. Now, what I understand that Portal is they're trying to integrate like video chatting on video chatting on tablets and on televisions. So it's an interesting thing. I think they really want to enter the product marketplace, like selling physical products. And so this is one tool that is relevant right now, but we know that in the future, we're moving more towards what Oculus is doing. So it's a great way for them to integrate into the system and start collecting information about consumer behavior and all that stuff. So it's a great way to do that. Then they have Navi, which is their crypto wallet. Right. Such an interesting thing. Like the fact that they now have this crypto wallet. Well, they've had this for a while. They've been talking about it for a while, but it really puts them as a leader. Basically, what Facebook has done here is that they've created a holistic ecosystem. I think holistic and ecosystem are the same thing in a way, but I'll just use those words together. They've made a holistic ecosystem, somewhere that like you as an individual, when you want to enter the metaverse, all you need is Facebook's products, and they offer everything. And their main premise as a company, or Meta, their main premise is connecting people the best way, right? And so you come on there, you use your Oculus glasses, you come into the metaverse of Instagram, whatever that's going to be in the next 5 years, right? You come in there and you see a nice dress that you want to purchase, you get your Navi wallet and you purchase something. You head on over to either your WhatsApp or your Messenger. I don't know. You want to text your mom that's in the real world. You can stay in touch with your mom in the real world. Same anyway, you're still going to be able to message people. But they did a little demonstration of what this whole metaverse is going to look like through their eyes. And I thought that video was very helpful to help people understand the kind of metaverse or the utility of the metaverse that we're moving into. I think that was very useful in that respect. So, I mean, Facebook is a great company now. And so what are my takeaways from this? Number one, I think it's a great thing that they changed their name. They rebranded. They sort of detached their name from the taboo of the Facebook app and sort of like the history. And they didn't want to spread that sort of negative energy into their other apps, which makes sense, and their other companies. So it makes sense that they changed the name to Meta. But that doesn't mean the media is not going to follow you, Meta, in this transition. But I think it's going to help them rebrand significantly. So that's that. And it's in a way, it's the end of that chapter. It's the end of that era of Facebook sort of breaking privacy policies. But let's see, because according to the whistleblower, they're still being sort of detrimental to like consumers in ways that we might not be able to monitor. Anyway, so those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. A peace.